Hello, everyone. Welcome back to some more Bridge. A shocking show of something. I don't know. I've remembered to show up for day two of the free 2-day weekend event. It's not like a qualifying phase, you know. As long as you finish day one, you're allowed to play in day two, so it's not going to be super competitive or anything, but it's kind of cute to have a 2-day thing. Yesterday I did like 51 or something, not especially good. But here we are for day two. I think it's the same thing, right? 10 or 12 boards of match points? Yeah. Okay. So partners open to heart, and we have enough that we could reasonably force to game. We could also consider not forcing to game. Like, it's a pretty bad 12. And we could just issue a game invite. Having 3-card support for partner is an argument in favor of treating this as a game force. But remember, we know because the deals are rigged for these robot events that partner has at most 12 high card points. 12 opposite 12 is usually enough to like put together a reasonable try at making game. And so if your partner has at least 12 and you have 12, you should generally force to game. But part of the reason that that's a good idea is that partner might have more than 12, right? Here we know partner can't have more than 12, and so game will probably be okay, but not especially great. I guess what that means, though, is that if I invite game, partner's just going to say no, because we know he has 12, right? Maybe he has some shape, but that doesn't look like it's going to be especially useful opposite my hand. So I might actually just bid a quiet 2 hearts. Extremely mastermindy. I think the field will be in game, and game might make. I don't know. There's a rule of thumb for match point events, which is, look, if you think you're worse than the field, it doesn't really matter what you do because they're going to be outsmarting you. But if you think you're better than the field, try not to generate random swings. Try to generate swings only when you think it's definitely in your advantage. Often what that means is if you think you can tell what the field contract is, even if you think you know a contract that's a tiny bit better, you know, maybe just go with the field contract and try to outscore them in the play of the hand. Right? Here, I think there's a reasonable chance that 2 hearts will actually be a better contract than 4 hearts. But I expect the field to be in 4 hearts, and you know, some huge percentage of BBOers will take fewer tricks in a 4 hearts contract than I will. So why don't I just meet them there and not risk a total 0 if game happens to be cold? Just go for a solid, like, 55 or 60. You could even punt 4 hearts. I mean, right? Like, there's no way we're going to slam. Why tell the opponents what to lead? Sure. Very disrespectful auction. Both in what I did and what I was thinking of doing instead. Well, I'm glad to see the ace of clubs lead. Because as long as... Well, I don't know. I mean... 4 hearts is by no means lay down, but it could make. I don't think I want to allow West to win a spade and perhaps give East a club ruff or something. So I could jump on the ace, planning to lose a spade. Because, like, I'm going to lose a spade anyway, right? I don't think East is switching away from the king here. So I might as well go up. The thing is, though, I'm probably losing 2 spades if I go up, right? West has king 4th or something. Actually, it's kind of weird. Who has, like... East is claiming to be short in clubs and spades, as far as I can tell, which is a little bit unlikely. But I think finessing here just has so many downsides. Yeah, I'm gonna go up with the ace here. I don't know. And I'd sort of like to try to establish an extra club trick, but I don't think I actually can. Like, I could draw 2 rounds of trump and lead the jack of clubs, but I don't really think East has the queen. I mean, given that East didn't switch to a diamond, actually, I can probably place the ace of diamonds over here, right? That's nice, at least. In which case, I'm losing 1 more diamond and 1 or 2 spades. So maybe I can arrange a spade club squeeze or something? Ooh, I'm pretty short of trumps now. I'm going to have to draw 2 more rounds. No, I guess I'm okay. I just don't think I'll actually have the entry or the entries or the time really for this spade club squeeze I was mentioning. I don't know. This contract sucks. Oh man, the ace wasn't even onside like I thought it was. Well, down 1, and if I just bid 2 hearts as I was sort of imagining doing, we'd probably be getting a great score here. East had ace queen tight, so I actually could have made it, I think. Well, the timing is a little bad, right? Because if West ever gets in after I've played a club... So, like, at this point, I could lead a club, right? Queen, king, small. Yeah, and then just the 10 pitching a diamond. And attack spades. Yeah, that would be a way to make it. Did not read the opponent's hands correctly. Wow, this is a great hand. We have 3 diamonds available to say I have a great hand and a doubleton diamond, so I'll bid it. And that's getting partner to bid 4. I should have checked whether that's a slam try or something. But it's not. We don't know whether West's suit is diamonds or spades. But the black suits really call out for an elimination play, right? If I could eliminate the diamonds and the hearts and then lead the jack of clubs, if West wins the king and has to return a black suit, he'd have to lead away from his king of spades or away from the club honor that he perhaps holds, right? Although I guess it doesn't even matter if he leads away from the king of spades because the pitch doesn't do anything for me. So maybe that elimination is just a fiction. Maybe it's not real. Okay. Now, if we can set it up without any cost, we should still do it, because West might not realize it isn't real and might return a club. But it shouldn't be a high priority to set up. I mean, I think we should take the trump finesse, right? Normally, 8 ever, 9 never, we have 9 trumps, we shouldn't finesse for the queen, but West has shown length in probably spades, maybe diamonds, either way, suggests shortness in hearts. And I don't really have so many entries that I can afford to go over and then cash the ace and then go over again and then finesse just in case West stiff is the queen. I think I just want to win the ace of diamonds and immediately finesse, and if it loses to a stiff queen, well, that's sort of sad. Really? Does this matter? A little, maybe? I guess not. I mean, obviously I'm going to win the 8, not the ace, but I guess it doesn't matter because pitches from the south hand don't do anything. It does leave me a little bit confused about what's happening in the diamond suit, though. Like, where are the queen, jack, 10, and 9? Neither of them has either? Has any of those cards? Okay, so much for that plan. No, West had 7 of them? Oh, it didn't split. At least it wasn't a stiff heart. So ace-king would have worked. Huh. Yeah, so you can kind of set up what looks like an elimination position if you, like, let's say we rough the king of diamonds and rough the queen of spades and lead a club. West can win, but oh no, like, any lead gives us a rough slough. That's not actually real because a club pitch doesn't help me. Likewise, you could pitch the queen of spades on the king of diamonds, and but like it still doesn't help because you have too many clubs. So I think you just have to, like, lead a club. Ugh. Hey, that's a surprise, but a welcome one. Alright, you guys can have a club. I'll make my contract, but I could have done better, and I suspect BBO will do better. Well, I don't know. They might try ace of hearts, then cross to the diamond for the finesse, and it gets roughed all the same. But at least they won't also lose a trick to the queen, I guess. Huh. It's weird that West didn't bother to cover there. Like, how do you know that I don't need any pitches of spades or clubs from the dummy, right? Why not play the 9? Very strange. Should be a middling result for me. Not above average, but hopefully not below by much. We don't have very many tricks, do we? 4, 5, 6, 7. Got to make 2 more show up somewhere. Clubs are the obvious choice. Load the queen at some point. If, like, the king is onside and the suit is 3-2, then we've done it. I mean, it's sort of interesting whether to duck or not here. Generally, you shouldn't duck. Well, the reason for ducking in general in situations like this is so that in case the opposing hearts are divided, let's say 5-3 or 6-2, you'd like to surrender the lead later only at a time when one player is out of hearts, and then if that player ends up getting on lead, they can't lead more hearts. So here, we could duck a heart so that, like, let's say hearts are 6-2, and the player, I don't think they are 6-2 because of the 3 lead, right? They should be 5-3 at worst. But the player with only 2 hearts might win the club trick and then be unable to continue hearts. However, if there's another suit that you're equally afraid of them switching to, like spades here, you generally shouldn't duck because you don't want to let them get a free heart trick and then mount an equally effective attack on spades. Here, the spades are a little bit better than the hearts, although not in a way that matters, I think. So you should say, yeah, you don't want to let them pocket a heart trick and switch to spades. Furthermore, ducking the first heart is unlikely to help because, as I said, the suit looks to be not 6-2. You can duck the second heart if you want, and that still has some benefit, but not the first one. I think we just win this and play a club to the queen. Nothing too fancy going on. No real reason to, like... No, I think you can afford to play the ace, right? Does that make any sense? Yeah. Right? Because the ace is better than low to the queen in what situations? If East has stiff king, it's much better. But... low is better if, like... maybe if East had the stiff jack or 9? No, because you would see that fall, right? I don't know. I think ace is fine. I have plenty of entries to the south hand. I don't think leading back towards the ace-10 is going to be that exciting. I guess, okay, the advantage of not cashing the ace is you could still pick up the clubs for one loser. If you lead low to the queen and it loses to the king, you could then say, okay, I'll play East for jack third, low towards the ace-10. I think that's a substantial enough... yeah, anytime East has king jack X, and there are 3 such holdings, there are 3 spots he could have to go with it, cashing the ace is worse. Whereas if he has stiff king, cashing the ace is better. If he has king jack tight, cashing the ace is probably better, but I think those are all outnumbered by king jack X. Just lead a low one. Okay, cool. Now we can duck this and see if they make a mistake by not continuing. And they do. Nice. So now I maybe have time to set up another trick in diamonds. Or a diamond spade squeeze, failing that. So doesn't this 9 lead mean I'm guaranteed the rest? If I play the queen, I might not take the rest if for some reason West has... I mean, probably the suit is 3-2, and so it doesn't matter what I do. But just in case the suit is 4-1, that would mean West has all of the remaining ones. Can't be East because West has at least one here. So we should play low from dummy, winning the 10, and then if by some bizarre miracle East shows out, we still have the queen... oh, I guess this is kind of... I can just win the 10, and then... okay, we don't need any finesses. Just win the 10, then win the ace and the queen. Okay, sure, whatever. So, now I'm down to 2 losers. Ducking a diamond is likely to set up a trick, and if it doesn't, then there's a diamond spade squeeze to fall back on. There's not some way to generate 2 tricks without losing one. Yeah, because I only have 2 threat suits. Okay. We could cash the clubs first, I guess, and see if they pitch any diamonds. Seems harmless. Don't cash the spades, but the clubs are fine. Generally speaking, in squeeze play, you want to preserve winners in the suits you are squeezing in. It's not an ironclad rule, but, like, generally speaking, it's true-ish. West has pitched a diamond. So now we could go for greed and hope that the diamonds were 2-2. Play the ace and then the king. What do I know about how the suits are all splitting? I think West, like, just doesn't have any entries, and that's why he switched away from hearts. Okay, so West has the diamond stop still. So we can duck here, and in case he doesn't have a spade stop, He'll be... In case East has no spade stop, we can squeeze out the last trick. Well, I guess it's already been squeezed out in that case, right? I don't know. Wait, am I stupid? Didn't West pitched one? So the diamond I just conceded was the last one. I almost made a blunder. West is out, right? He had 4. He pitched 1. If I hit claim, they're going to give it to me because my 5 of diamonds is a winner. Jeez, okay, don't overthink it. It happens to me a lot when I'm playing some squeezes. I get like so hyper-focused on some little thing that I forget that, oh yeah, I just have all the tricks. This is an interesting hand. Clearly good enough to open. Although some huge percentage of the BBO field will just always pass in 4th seat. I don't know what's going on there, no matter what they have. So the book bid here is a diamond. But we have an unpleasant rebid after a spade response, which is pretty likely. Back in the days when people played 4-card majors, instead of today's 4-card major suit openings, a common piece of advice was if you were dealt a 4-4-4-1 hand, you should open the hand right below your singleton, so here, hearts. Because if partner bids the suit above, you have a nice, comfortable rebid no matter what. These days, like, a diamond and then 2 clubs, well, I can't bid a heart. I mean, I could. I can do whatever I want, you know, but it would be asystemic to do so. So you could bid a diamond and then rebid 2 clubs, but, you know, these days that would be expected to show at least 5-4 in the minors. Sometimes you're dealt a hand like this and you, like, have to show 5-4 when you have 4-4, and, like, okay, fine, but it's something you'd rather avoid. And a modern trend that I'm not exactly, like, at the forefront of is being willing to open 1-no trump with a singleton if that singleton is the ace, king, or queen. At least in the ACBL, that is the North American Contract Bridge League, it's getting popular. A couple years ago, they changed the rules saying you were allowed to have that as an agreement, whereas previously you were not even allowed to agree that. And if you ever open... This happened to me at a big national event, actually. An opponent opened 1-no trump with a singleton jack. And I didn't realize that was just illegal. You just cannot do that. And my partner didn't realize it had happened until after the event. And we didn't connect on it in time to report. I mean, you know. So we were able to file a complaint and, you know, get that added to the player's permanent record. But we weren't able to get a score adjustment because we were too late. Anyway, but here, you could open 1-no trump. I think that would be a reasonably popular choice among modern experts. It still makes me uncomfortable. But given that I don't really care for a diamond, like, and then having an awkward rebid, also it preempts the spades, which is quite nice. Yeah, I think I will open 1-no. I'm a little uncomfortable, but, you know... That's the best way to learn, is to get out of your comfort zone, I guess. And partner didn't transfer me to spades, so all is well. The 10 of clubs? Is it my birthday? Wow. There's no way this is a singleton. And if it's a doubleton, I don't really care where the 9 is. But just in case East has, like, 4 of them, I don't know. Should I play low to the queen? Then run the 8 on the way back? It seems fun. Okay, now the clubs are all coming in. I mean, things are going well for me. I don't think I need dummies diamonds, whereas the spades could be worthwhile. If they play ace, queen of spades, I'll have 2 winners over there. Okay. So at this point, I could cash 6 tricks. Right? 2 hearts, 3 clubs, and a diamond. That's not enough to make my contract. But I could also... I could try setting up a spade, right? Pitch a diamond on this, play a spade. Giving the opponents 2 spades, 2 hearts, and a club, basically. But if they win the spade and continue hearts, I'm a little short of dummy entries, right? And also a little short of time. They might get to enjoy a 3rd heart trick. So I could try the diamond finesse instead. That's guaranteed to make 7 tricks. And, I mean, could make a whole lot of tricks. But winning this and playing the 10 is pretty likely to make 8 tricks. And very unlikely to make more than 8. I also might not actually have 2 dummy entries in clubs if East has 10-9 fourth and I let West win the stiff king earlier. In which case the spades are never going to actually set up. So I think I should take the diamond finesse. The opponents are still limited to at most 6 tricks, and there's some chance I take a million if I'm really lucky. Is there a reason to cash the ace first? I don't think that's a good idea. I might need some hand re-entries if I play low diamond to the jack and then ace happily dropping the king, I'll want more hand re-entries. I suppose you could also lead the queen, hoping West has 10-9 doubleton exactly, but that's way less likely than East having king anything doubleton. So play low. Okay, and they didn't find the spade switch. Oh, that's right. The robots are so old, they don't know they don't think anyone would ever open one no trump with any singleton. So they're not playing around that possibility. Great. Well, I'll lose just 1 spade then. The robots will go file a complaint, I guess. And although the finesse lost, I still got 8 tricks because they didn't find the spade switch. Well, I mean, notch 1 up for opening that hand with 1 spade, I guess. With 1 no, rather. It seems to have worked out. So I should get more comfortable with it. Obviously, it's 1 data point, not a proof, but, you know, it's evidence. That's a lot of diamonds. They don't look like they're going to be very useful. Okay. Well, they might have to let me win this because... No, okay. I have an entry to those diamonds. But, I mean, I'm not going to be able to pitch anything on them, right? Even if I'm so lucky that I can cross over, like, they'll both be roughing the next round. And if I try to draw trump first, they'll just cash all their tricks. Or cut me off from dummy prematurely. So the question mostly is how I handle the clubs, I think. Because I could play king of clubs and then rough a small club. And if the suit is 4-3, which it is most of the time, nobody will be able to over-rough that club. And I'll have the queen of clubs as a winner for the 4th round. But at some point, I'm going to have to give up the lead before I finish drawing trump. And at that time, the opponents can just rough out my queen of clubs if I do that. So what you could do instead would be play king and then queen of clubs, and then rough the 3. You know they're over-roughing, but at least they'll have to over-rough with a reasonably big spade, right? And so there's some chance 9 and 8 could set up a little bit more easily that way. A downside with this approach is that if the suit is 4-3, like, okay, sure, it's probably fine. But if the suit is 5-2, they'll ruff your queen, and you won't even get to ruff the 3 to force them to do something they don't want to do. It'll just be really bad. It also means you'll never have an entry to the dummy, unless I guess you get lucky enough to win here, but I don't think you should count on that. I don't... Actually, who has the singleton diamond? If it's West, East should have won and given his partner a ruff. If it's East, West shouldn't really have led the 4 from a holding of... What was it? 5-4-3? It's weird to lead the 4. So we could optimistically conclude, you know what? Diamonds seem to be 2-2. Let's cash one while we can. But I don't think I trust the opponents who've gotten diamonds right every time. Do I? I don't know. I think I kind of do. I'm going to leave a diamond. Boo! You guys suck. You're so bad at this game. I'm losing so many tricks, and it's your fault because you're bad. Oh, no. Alright, another diamond come... No? Okay, I thought they might play another diamond for West to ruff. I was planning to pitch my club while that happened, but I guess that's not happening. I don't know where the 10 is. But I do know the king and queen are gone, so I should lead the jack and hope to drop the 10, right? There's no reason to do anything else. Alright. I mean, that could have gone a lot worse. I suspect the computer will say I did not manage this super well. But I think I'm pretty happy with how it went. Yeah, I dropped 1 trick, and West dropped 2. Opening lead was fine. I imagine my play at trick 3 was a problem. I shouldn't leave diamond here. Yep, that was the trick I dropped. Should have gone for king of clubs club right away. West needed to... Wow, that's tough to find. Switch to the king of spades. The only play that holds me, huh? That's a tough one. Okay, so he doesn't find that play. Now I play king of clubs club. And West has to be patient, not ruff here. Why? I mean, it's a trump winner he was going to win anyway. But I guess the issue is he's a little bit end played maybe after ruffing. Well, certainly if he leads a spade, it's very sad for their side because now I get to lose only 1 trick to the queen 10 instead of 2. Okay, well, interesting. 13 points, we'll open a club. And rebid 1 no. Partner is interested in more. So 2 hearts shows a minimum. 3 hearts shows a maximum. This hand is definitely a minimum. Like 13 is in the middle of the range, 12 to 14. You could call it a min or a max. My kind of rule in these 3-point range things is Obviously, with 12, you say a min. With 14, you say a max. With 13, I usually let, like, you know, my assessment of the rest of my hand qualitatively answer the question. You know, is it really bad honors? Are the spots bad? You know, is it 4-3-3? Here it's 4-3-3. The honors are fine. The spots are bad-ish. But 4-3-3 is just pretty bad, so I'll bid 2 hearts. Let's not be too encouraging. 3 diamonds. Okay, a game force. Okay, do you want to know about my spades? You do. Okay. Well, we have at least 9 tricks, right? 4 spades, 4 hearts, and a club. We can perhaps take another diamond. I mean, I guess I don't think there's any way we could take 2 more diamonds. We could also perhaps take 5 spades instead of 4 if the suit plays for no losers. It's a little scary to play spades, like to take a spade finesse right away, because they might win it and then switch to a diamond. And if the diamonds are positioned very unfavorably, they could take away a diamond trick I was otherwise earning, right? If West has ace queen, well, I don't know. Yeah, ace queen 4th of diamonds. Then they could win the spade finesse, win the queen of spades, win the ace of spades. Win the spade finesse, queen of diamonds, ace of diamonds, diamond ruff. Even though that's a diamond position, I could actually get a trick from if I played it after trump are gone. So all this to say that the trump finesse is not risk-free. It might be worth the chance, but I'm not sure yet. Like, you could just play ace king of spades. I think that's probably better. Because the possibility that you get diamonds wrong and they take some roughs is not insignificant. And, you know, finessing the spades is better than playing for the drop by a decent margin, but not a huge margin. Here, the considerations about the rest of the hand, I think, argue in favor of playing the spades incorrectly in isolation. In that it's just too dangerous to lose a diamond right away. Well, to lose a trick while there is still trump out there. Because of the diamonds. Okay, bad news. But it does mean the finesse was not working either. I think I can afford to play a spade here. Like, what am I afraid of? Nothing, right? If they can now take a diamond ruff, well, there was nothing I ever could have done about it. So, nice. East's underled the ace and queen? Or maybe just the queen and West is hanging on to his ace? I'm not sure. Either way, something good has happened. Funny enough, I can't actually lead up to the king of diamonds now. Because I could lose a whole bunch of diamonds, couldn't I? Well, no, I don't think so. Because I could only lose a bunch of diamonds if West had all of them. Well, had started with at least ace queen 4th. But in that case, surely West would have won the queen on the first diamond trick. So I think it's actually safe to lead a diamond here. There's just no way the opponents can actually take 3 diamond tricks, given what I already know about the suit. Yeah. And it's not impossible that East has underled the ace. Okay. So it didn't pay off, but it also didn't hurt. Right? This 5 of diamonds is a winner. I could have pitched it on a heart instead, but I tried to see if I could get a second diamond trick instead. Actually, East's diamond switch seems like it might have cost them a trick. Yeah. It says I'm still down if West... Oh, yeah, West has to win and play a heart, because East is out. I didn't know that. I guess that tracks, given that East led a heart. Well, lucky me, huh? Stole one. And yeah, indeed, Gibbs says it doesn't matter what you do here. You can play a diamond if you want. But, of course, that's on this specific layout. I believe on any layout I can afford a diamond. Unless West has ducked from Ace, Queen, 4th for some reason. Then I would be in trouble. But I don't think that's going to happen. 15 points. Easy spade. A limit raise. Well, we're certainly worth a game. The question is, do we have a shot at slam? The king of diamonds is looking reasonably good with the ace likely on my right. We have extra length in trumps, very solid trumps, useful shortness. You know, what's kind of hand I could have for partner? Another rule of thumb they give is imagine, you know, when you're thinking about whether to go for slam, try to come up with for partner a perfect minimum. Like, you know, something that he would consider a minimum, but actually is great facing your hand, you know, the details of which he does not know. If, with such a perfect minimum, you would be certain to take 12 tricks, you should at least explore for slam. So if there's a perfect minimum that gives you puts you in a good slam, but one that's not guaranteed, probably don't bother. But if there's one that makes slam certain, you should at least look around. So let's do that exercise. I kind of want partner to have a singleton diamond. So we're losing a diamond trick. He has 3 spades, so we don't really need the queen, although, again, I guess if he has 4 small, slam isn't certain, because West could have queen 3rd. So maybe we would need him to have 5 spades? It's maybe asking a little too much, but okay, he certainly could have that, I suppose. So 5 spades, a stiff diamond, and then what? Ace of hearts, king, queen of clubs? Sure. I think with that holding, slam is certain. So we should probably at least poke around. And 4 hearts is the only bid in between. Between where we currently are in game. So it's... Gibbs says this is a Q bid showing the ace of hearts. It really ought to just be like a generic slam try because it's the only space you have. I'm a little nervous that, like, Gibb thinks this shows 20 points, which, I don't know. I mean, I kind of have. I think that's fair. Okay, partner likes his hand. We're going to go key carding, I guess. I have 3. And we're in 6. Okay, that's enough, huh? Well, so much for that. We just have a pretty certain 2 diamond losers. Goes ace of diamonds, diamond rough, and, like, that's life. Maybe East only has 5 diamonds. It certainly is likely he has 6, but maybe not. And then we could take the heart roughing finesse. Yeah. Well, that's unfortunate. We might still go down 2 here, of course, but probably not. I think we can say with some certainty that the king of hearts is over here. Although, Do I actually need that? I mean, well... Yeah, you can... well, here, I'll show you something funny. So we draw trump. So I was describing how you could take the roughing finesse. Let's see, they still have one more trump. I was describing how you... oh, did I mess this up? Shoot. I don't actually have enough... I mean, it's fine. I just don't get to show you the funny little squeeze line. Instead of taking the roughing finesse in hearts, if I had managed my entries a little more carefully, I could instead rough out the clubs while preserving the ace of hearts, cash all the spades, and then if East actually does have the king of hearts, he'll be squeezed. But I couldn't afford to cash this spade. I needed it as a re-entry to hand. Now if I play club to the king, spade, club rough, I don't have another spade to get back to hand. So I guess we are just playing the roughing finesse, which is fine. It's just as good as the squeeze was, but not as fancy. Yeah, I feel like with 3 small diamonds, you should be a little bit more careful about the diamond suit partner. I don't know. I mean, maybe with king third, I should be more careful. Oh, also I wasn't... oh, it didn't matter. Yeah. The 10 of clubs was actually a winner, and I roughed it. But I wasn't watching, so it didn't matter if it became a winner. It was not a useful pitch. Well, it was, though. I could have pitched the diamond. I just wasn't paying any attention because I didn't expect it to happen. No, I didn't find out because I was using it as a re-entry. I see. Well, I should have. Yeah, it's a nice little extra chance. You can cross the club, and just in case East had king, queen, jack tight, now you don't need the heart roughing finesse anymore. So that would have been a slightly better way to play the hand. East's doubled as a passed hand. We have 9 high card points there. 14 here is 23. Let's give East about 10, so West has about 7. Some of them are apparently in diamonds, or East would have led the king. If you could play this heart suit with no other constraints, you would lead low to the 10 twice, wouldn't you? Just in case West has a small singleton. But this isn't in isolation, of course. I do have other concerns, and I can't just spend all my dummy entries leading hearts. Can I? I mean, what else? I just don't have any dummy entries. And more importantly, I need to draw trump quickly before they set up club roughs. So that's one reason, by the way, not to duck this diamond. It might go like king of diamonds, ace of clubs, club rough if East has 5 of them, which is not impossible. Or maybe more likely if West has 5, since East apparently has club shortness. Anyway, there's not much to be gained by ducking, so you may as well go up. And I'm just going to slam down some hearts. Okay. So we're not getting a diamond rough. Maybe that's a reason it was good to duck the diamond, is that... well, no, because if I had ducked a diamond and retained the ace to try to rough, West could have just played, like, queen of hearts, 2 of hearts. He didn't have to play the 2 first. So I don't think I was ever getting a diamond rough if I tried to draw trump. I could have ducked and taken the diamond rough before drawing trump. That was probably a good play. Yeah, I didn't think at all about what would happen if trump were 4-1. Even though I was discussing 4-1 layouts, I didn't think about how that would impact the rest of the hand. That's a mistake. Yeah, the 9 was played, so this promotes the 8 by force. Now that East has returned a little one. Well, I mean, we could take the spade finesse, but there's just no reason to, right? Because the king of clubs can pitch a diamond for no reason, or a spade, which would let me ruff a spade, right? I think that's right. If I pitch a diamond on the club, I'm going to take exactly 3 tricks. And don't take the spade finesse, right? I'll take 2 spades and a club, and that's it. I'm not going to get to ruff anything. And if I pitch a spade on the club, I can definitely take 4 tricks. Yeah, there's just no reason to not do it that way. You have to catch the ace first. I think West made a mistake by switching to by continuing the 2 of hearts instead of the queen and then the 2. Could have prevented that ruff. I probably made a mistake by winning the first diamond. It says it doesn't matter. Yeah, go down if I attack spades, I guess. Also go down if I attack hearts here. This was my error, and West returned the favor by... I guess technically this is still fine, but then East made a mistake by continuing clubs. Says a low one is fine still? No, I'm reading that wrong. A low one gives me an over trick. Any club is an over trick. A diamond is an under trick, yes. So they all say 1, but these are red. It's a little hard for me to see that. Okay, cool. Well, 140 is a nice result, I think. Oh, this is a hand. 18? Okay, I'll bid 2 clubs. And then hearts. When you have a slam going hand, don't worry about, like, you know, when you have a good hand, you should bid it as accurately as possible. So you bid your long suits first. When your hand is mediocre, you may want to prioritize majors, and that's something systemically a lot of people do is, you know, if this hand were 8 points instead of 18, but the same shape, I would bid a heart, not clubs. Even if partnered open a diamond and you have 5 clubs and 4 hearts, a popular agreement is to bid the 4-card heart suit first anyway, because when you have a weak hand, it's more important to get to play a major at all than it is to get to, like, exactly, you know, to figure out how high you belong in your minor or whatever. 2 spades, huh? So Gibb claims this shows 5 diamonds and 4 spades and any point range. This isn't really true because you could have bid 2 spades here instead of 2 diamonds, showing the same shapes but more points. Like Gibb would do that with 17 or more or something like that, maybe 16, I don't know. So I think that this is actually like, you know, 11 to 15 or something like that. Still enough that I would love to look for slam. I don't have a good way to do it. Because, I mean, I guess I do. I can just bid 2 no. We don't have any fit, so that's making slam look worse. But this saves some room. Partner bids 3. I think I can probably bid 4. He thinks that shows 18 to 19. I actually have 20. But, frankly, I think it ought to show 20. Because this sequence is relatively weak. So I'll just bid 4, and partner, as expected, passes, but we shouldn't have any trouble making 4. I hope. So tricks 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 at least. Ducking this trick sets up a 9th trick for sure in spades. That seems like a good thing to have. You could put in the 10. I don't think there's any reason to do that, and it could be a problem. Yeah, now I preserve the ace-10 as a threat to make someone lead into someday, maybe. My dummy entries are very restricted. I can't afford to put in the jack trying for a free finesse, although that finesse would probably fail anyway. Nor can I afford to let this run around to the king, leaving the heart suit unblocked, because my dummy entries are very badly needed for cashing spades and diamonds. And my hand entries are basically free. I don't need them for anything. I have plenty. So you should jump on the ace here, unblock the spades, then play diamonds. I guess you could play the ace of diamonds before the queen of spades, but I don't see why that matters. You should certainly play the queen of spades before the 8 of diamonds. And it's definitely right to put in the king here rather than the 10, right? So the 10 earns you an extra trick if West has specifically Jack 4th. Or 5th, I guess. But the king gets you an extra trick if East has Jack X or Jack 3rd. And those are more likely. Right, Jack X is more likely than stiff Jack. And Jack 3rd is more likely than Jack 4th? No, those are the same, actually, aren't they? Well, it's slightly more likely. Yeah. Anyway, the king is right here. And it turns out the 10 would have worked. So I think we have some chance of some squeeze here. I don't think it matters what I pitch from hand. Yeah, so win this. Diamond, you have to pitch a club here. They both pitch a club, that's good news. Ace of spades. The Jack of hearts hasn't turned into a winner and never will, so now is the time to throw it away. If it was a threat against East, it's already served its purpose, and if it was a threat against West, well, it was never going to do anything. That's 3 clubs pitched. Right? Yeah, unlucky. West has all of them. Unless I missed a pitch somewhere? I think this 9 is losing. Yep. Okay. Well, so made 4. Did have a little bit of trouble. I said I'd have no trouble, but... Let me actually fire up suit play and just make sure it confirms what I think about that that diamond suit. So what do we have? We have King, Queen, 10, 5, 3. Opposite Ace 8, I think? Yeah. I guess I want the match point best line. Wow, I wonder what line B is that your goal is to take 4 tricks. I guess it's low to the 8 in case East has like all of them. Sure. Very funny. But we'll take line A, please. Actually, I have a curiosity. yeah, A is apparently better 3% of the time. You'd think it would be more than that. Okay, here we go. Expected number of tricks. Not actually very different, interestingly. But much better if your goal is to get at least 5 tricks. Anyway, it says, sure, lead the ace. Small, small, small. And then cash the king, yeah. Or lead up to the king if you want. But either way, you're playing the king no matter what they do. Okay, that's what I thought. 15 points, but just terrible. Yuck! No aces at all, only 2 kings. You could choose to downgrade this out of 1 no trump. The problem is, to do that, you have to open a club, which also sucks. I think you just bid 1 no, go with the field. I don't think this has been a very good event for me. I don't expect my score is going to be very good. Just thinking back on how it's gone. I've had some decent results, but I've had some pretty bad ones too. Yeah, see, this is the kind of hand where, like... Well, first of all, I think partner may be slightly overbid, but, you know, my 1 no trump is an overbid too, and here we are, we're in a hopeless contract. With any luck, I'll be down only 1. The trump suit is a little interesting because if the suit is 3-2, it doesn't matter what you do. But if it's 4-1, you have some possibilities. If East has Jack 10 fourth, you should play the ace and then low to the 9. But that's a very bad way to play because you won't know, like... You'll lose a trick even though the suit is 3-2 some of the time if you try that. So you should focus more on 4-1 splits where the honor is singleton, or where the singleton's an honor, let's say. Right, suppose I cash the king and East drops the 10. Then we might say, aha, just in case this is a singleton, let's cash the queen and then I can finesse West for the jack, right? And that's all true. The funny thing is, this is a situation that I think... is this a mandatory false card situation? It's not, right? Because if East has Jack 10 fourth, he's always taking a trick no matter what. It would be a blunder to throw something away. That would be if we were missing like Jack 9 fourth instead of Jack 10 fourth. In such a situation, if you are the one with Jack 9 fourth and you know the 10 is on your left, then Declare kind of has no choice but to play for you to have 4 if he's going to play for anyone to have 4. And so you should false card the 9 as early as possible so that Declare also has the possibility of playing you for the singleton 9. But that doesn't apply here because we're missing Jack and 10. So, I don't know. I don't think it matters what you do here. I guess load the ace in case West has a void. Sure. All right, and then we'll just lose a club. Yeah, not great, I think. Can I see my preliminary results yet? They usually show them to you, right? It takes a few seconds for them to compute it for some reason. There it is. Oh, a lot better than yesterday, huh? 62. That's sort of a surprise. I thought I had a lot of bad scores. Board 1 was a little below average because... I didn't play on clubs. You could have cashed clubs, I guess. Right, I remember that. Board 2 I thought would be like a 35%, but it was worse. Huh. Kind of a surprise. Obviously, everyone should be in 4 hearts. And I would have thought, well, I guess maybe the field just sort of blindly plays ace-king because of 9 never. They don't even think about the fact that West is probably short in hearts. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Understood. Board 3, a stupendous result. 3-no making 4. What did I do that was so brilliant? Oh, somehow I convinced the opponents to give up a diamond trick. I mean, that wasn't anything I did. I guess ducking the second heart maybe is what gave them pause. I mean, I don't think this is a brilliant play that deserves a 98. It just so happened to perturb the robots' thinking that they got afraid and switched. And then on the clubs, West wasn't sure what to do and pitched a diamond. Really just fortuitous. I mean, this line does put the opponents under some pressure, so like I get a little bit of credit for it, but I don't think I should get much. This was also fantastic for just opening 1-no, I guess. And then the opponents didn't know how to defend given that that had happened. 5 was average. Sure. Board 6, another excellent score for 4 spades making 4. What did I do that was so smart here? Maybe just not take the heart finesse? Spade finesse? The trump finesse? Yeah, it kind of made it harder for East to get in for the rough, maybe? Or for East to get the rough, for West to get in to give East a rough. I don't know. Obviously, West could just play the ace here and give East a rough, but he doesn't know what's going on yet. I think this is another one where just like, either line, the robots could have misdefended no matter what you did. It so happens they misdefend on what I did, but I don't think there's any like strong reason for it. Some reason that what I did was to blame. Here, I mean, at least I'm in some company. I think bidding 4 hearts is pretty reasonable. And the partner got a little bit excited with 4-no. It would have been nice to bid like 5 clubs instead, saying that he's worried about diamonds. And I don't know what I would do. Then at least it would be my fault, right? I mean, we don't have a lot of space. It is sort of tough to blame partner, really. Like, if I have a stiff diamond, his diamonds are great, right? Well, we got to a bad contract. I don't know that the auction was necessarily a disaster. Oh well. Board 8. Another incredible result. By the way, there are already 280 tables who've played these boards. The tournament's only been going for a little, 6 hours or something. I thought they aimed to get you to like 100 by the time the event is over. Maybe for day 2 they do things different. Anyway, so this 98 is not just like, oh, only a few other tables have played it. You're beating a lot of people. 2 hearts making 3 here. Yeah, well, West made a mistake. I don't think I did anything brilliant to encourage that mistake. Right? I just went up and tried to cash. I don't know. Weird. 4-no making 4, a bit above average. I guess people are probably, if I had to guess based on how BBO players play, I would guess the auction at many tables was 1 diamond, 6 no trump. I think this is a reasonable scientific auction to a good spot. I don't dislike anybody's actions here. And there were some pitfalls. Right, if you play low on this heart, I think it'll say you're fine. Oh, the queen is actually here. Wow. It even says, look, putting in the ace or the jack doesn't help. That you can't actually take the heart for finesse. Which is a surprise to me, actually. Why can't you? You could win the jack, unblock, take 5 diamonds, 3 hearts is 8, 2 spades is 10, 2 clubs is 12. Oh, it's saying you can take 12 no matter what you do in hearts. You don't need the heart finesse. Because why? Is East getting squeezed in the majors when you run the minors? The entries are a bit... If you play the ace here... I gotta see this. If you play the ace here, isn't it kind of difficult? Actually, you know what? Let's use this double dummy. Let's use this one, which will only tell me double dummy if I ask. So if you play the ace here, as I did, how are you now taking the rest of the tricks? You have 1. You can easily take 2 spades. That's 3. And a heart is 4. 5 more diamonds is 9. 2 clubs is 11. So you have to find 1 more trick in addition to all of that. The only avenue I see is a squeeze in the majors against East, but the entries for that are so bad. Right? So let's say you cash the King of Hearts. Oh, wait, no? Let's say you cash the King of Hearts and then 7 minor suit tricks. Everyone has to come down to 3 cards. What 3 cards does East keep? It seems like you can keep the Queen of Hearts and Jack X of Spades, right? So, okay, you do this, but you don't cash the King of Hearts? So you just cash 7 minor suit tricks. Everyone comes down to 4 cards. Both North and South keep all their major suit cards. What 4 cards does East keep? If East bears the Queen of Hearts, you can cross the King and then back the Queen of Spades, abandoning both of Dummy's spade tricks, but then enjoy the Jack and 5 of Hearts. So East can't bear the Queen, but East also can't keep the Doubleton Queen, because that would mean East has only 2 spades. You could cash the Queen of Spades and then cross to Dummy in Hearts, Ace dropping the Jack, and then the 10. So what is this called? Here, let's play it out till there's just 1 trick left, because no one really has any important decisions to make before then. And you can see the moment the squeeze operates. West's cards don't matter, of course, but I guess he should probably follow suit since it's illegal not to. Here is East's problem. It's a bit like a crisscross squeeze, except there's a blockage in the spades. So I'm sure there's a name for this, and I don't know what it is. But the fact that spades can actually produce, well, or hearts. Hearts are what you can sometimes call a double threat, in that, if East unguards hearts, we can actually get 2 tricks out of it. I usually hear about double threats in the context of, like, triple squeezes. Repeating triple squeezes. But maybe it applies here somehow? Because the fact that East abandoning hearts, yeah, both hearts and spades, if East abandons them, give us 2 tricks. And so we can afford to throw away 1 trick to resolve a blockage once East gives up a suit. That's interesting. Well, if he gives up spades, we don't throw away any tricks. We just unblock in spades and then cross. But if he gives up hearts, it does matter that the hearts are a double threat. Huh. I don't know. I might take a picture of this one and send it to a bridge player I know and be like, what the hell is this called? Cool. And then board 10. I don't know. Maybe he watches these videos. My bridge partner comments on my crossword videos sometimes. I haven't heard him say anything much about the bridge videos. So 10 was an average for 4 hearts down 1. I still think it would not be unreasonable to open this hand a club. If you could swap the hearts and the clubs, I'd be thrilled to open a club. But having to bid such a crummy club suit is not exactly a great reward for downgrading from 1 no, so I bid 1 no. And Partner's auction is aggressive, but it's not unusual. Lots of people would bid this way. I can't be too mad about it. Okay, well, lots of unexpected 90s turned this into a good session. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.